Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building a home here in Del Sol Valley, and this house is going to be for Venessa, and she is the townie that you see in the trailer for The Sims 4 Get Famous, and she lives here in this starter neighborhood. I forget exactly what this neighborhood is called, but anyway, she lives here in this pre-built house. I have renovated that house before. I've also built her another house, but that was for my save file with the Get Famous collab. So for my save file that I'm doing by myself, I decided to build her a brand new house, and this is what I came up with. I really like this house, so I hope you guys will like it too. It ends up having one bedroom, one bathroom, and then there's also an office because I definitely thought it would be nice for her to have an office space. So if you wanted to, you could use that as a bedroom too. There's also a garage in the back, so you could even potentially turn that into another bedroom or two if you wanted to. But I put a few things in there like the woodworking table, the dartboard, some clutter items just to kind of make it look like a garage. And then I also built this carport area that I thought was really cool because with the latest patch of The Sims 4, we got a bunch of really nice decorations unlocked in the debug menu that came with Strangerville. You will also see them around here in this neighborhood of Del Sol Valley, and that's the things like the RVs and the camp trailers and stuff. So I also gave her one of those in her carport area. So I thought that was really cool, because I think her story is that she's like from a small country town, and so I gave her a pickup truck and then she has the camp trailer. So I kind of feel like she drove her pickup with her camp trailer across several of the Sims worlds to get to Del Sol Valley, and she found this house, which is a rental, and I wanted it to kind of look like a rental by having pretty plain wallpapers and like flooring. I didn't want it to look too personalized. So for the style that I've been going for, I feel like it kind of looks that way. But the decorations have a lot of color, there's a lot of personality, because I definitely feel like she would be the type of sim that would decorate with a lot of color. And also the makeover that I've given her for my save file, she wears a lot of colorful clothes, she wears pink lipstick a lot, and I feel like that just suits her really nicely. Unfortunately, we can't really have our Sims rent houses in The Sims. Basically, they always own their homes. You can only rent apartments, but I still imagine that she rents this one. And yeah, I really like this house. I think it is very cute. But there you'll be able to see that I placed the RV, and the height of the house wasn't quite right. It really wasn't fitting, so I messed with it for a little while. And what I think I ended up doing is just putting it a little bit back behind the carport, because the house did not look right when I made it the taller wall height or adjusted the foundation to be too high. It looked a little bit awkward. But here's the pickup too. You will also notice that I have a lot of plants surrounding the house, and those also came with the latest patch, so we have them available in the debug menu now too if you own the Strangerville pack, and I loved using them here. I think they look so good and they just really blend into this world, and I wanted it to look quite natural, so I definitely had a lot of fun landscaping this, because this world also came with a lot of cool plants that you don't see in the catalog. So definitely very happy that we have some of these available. But those palm trees that you see around that park area, I really wish we had those. I think you can see those maybe in some other parts of some of the other worlds too, but they're beautiful and I wish we had them. I really hope that with the next packs we get more plants, because I feel like that's one thing that is really limited whenever we get new packs. Like, we hardly ever get new plants, so hopefully that will change in some of the upcoming packs. And also new countertops. I feel really desperate for new counters, or even just some recolors of any of the base game countertops would be really nice, preferably not the really modern ones, because that one already comes in like 50 swatches. I don't know, there's so many colors to that one, and then hardly any of the other ones. But I would really like to see like the very simple base game counters, the ones that I think I end up using in the interior of this house. I would love to see recolors of that one like so bad. So hopefully that would come eventually, but we will see what happens. But here I am creating the garage area. I was trying to make it look like the garage that was next door with this like overhanging piece, but I didn't quite like the way it worked, so I do end up getting rid of that. And I do have a couple of these garage doors that came with City Living. I thought that looked really good, and I think I end up including a basketball hoop and Other than that, there's not really too many activities out here. I did leave it quite open, but there is a few decorations on the back porch. I put a barbecue area out there, as well as a seating area and a few decorations. And I also put some graffiti on the other side of this garage that you may have seen there for a second. I thought that looked pretty good. And this is basically it for the whole structure of the house. I do change up the color, and also I do end up including a doorway to the garage because I did mention how I decorated the interior of it. But at this point, I was kind of considering leaving it inaccessible and just leaving it empty on the inside of the garage, but then I decided that it would be better if I did decorate the interior and include some activities. But here I'm just continuing with the landscaping, and I just love the landscaping so much. It was probably one of my favorite parts of this entire build. And then here I'm just messing with the roof too. It was kind of bothering me. I felt like it looked a little bit flat, and I wanted part of it to go over part of the porch back here to create some sort of an overhang. It was a little bit of a struggle, but I do really like the way this house looks, and the whole like style I feel like is a lot of fun and kind of different to my other builds. So I really enjoy that because the original house that I built for her was a mid-century style, which I love, of course, and I definitely feel like that fits this neighborhood really nicely. But this style I feel like is kind of unique, so I really do like that. Over here I do put a lot of plants, but this is where I end up putting the door to the garage, so you will see that in just a little while. And something I haven't mentioned yet that I feel like I probably should, you could probably tell that I sound a little bit sick. I have recently came down with a very nasty cold. I've been very sick for like 4 days now. I'm getting better, but I'm still kind of stuffy and having a little bit trouble talking and stuff. But I definitely wanted to get a video out and share it with you guys because it's been a while. And I'm also going to try to do a bit of pre-recording because my mom and my sister are coming to visit. And originally I was planning on having the last couple of days to prepare, but instead I spent those days sick and not recording anything. So I am definitely a little bit behind. I do have a couple of things that are almost ready. They just need a little bit more editing, and then of course I have to do the voiceover. So if I sound a little bit sickly in the next couple videos, then you guys know why, but hopefully it's not too bad and hopefully you guys don't mind. I don't know, I'm definitely feeling a lot better, but my voice is still a little bit scratchy and I can definitely hear it when I talk, so hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, thought I would give you guys a heads up in case you were kind of wondering why I sound a little bit different, and also if it's going to continue in a few videos. And yeah, I'm really excited for them to come visit because actually they have both never been here at the same time, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be just us three for the whole weekend. It's also going to be Mother's Day, and hopefully I will be completely over this cold by then, and I'm just really looking forward to it. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But anyways, so I am just finishing up the landscaping right now, placing down some more of those low-lying flowers. I probably went a little bit crazy with those. And then over here, I do end up placing the doorway like I mentioned. I also create a platform going up to it with the staircase because the garage is on a little bit of a foundation, and I think that looks really good. And then I have to kind of mess with the landscaping a little bit to make it kind of look as nice as I thought it did before. It's not as overgrown in this area, but I still think it looks really good. And I just probably went a little bit crazy with the plants in this build, but yeah, I just can't help it. I really just love these plants that came with the latest update. I think they're so nice. And then here is going to be the interior of the garage. So like I mentioned, I do place a few activities. I was kind of struggling a little bit with the lighting. I was wanting to use these, but they're really dark, and even if I place like those saucer lights to brighten it up, they don't really blend into them. I don't know. So I decided just to put a couple of these lights, and I think these ones look okay. And then, so in here, like I mentioned, there is just a few like garage decorations. I used this rack that came with Strangerville because it has like rope and like gasoline and like flour and stuff. There's also that box of decorations that came with Seasons. Then over here I put the woodworking bench, and then I have the dartboard, and I think this is basically it. I think I put some like boxes and stuff in the corners just to kind of fill in the spaces. I didn't want it to be overly decorated because I didn't imagine she would have a ton of stuff in her garage, but I still felt like she would have a little bit. And we do have a few things that actually look pretty good in garages, so really happy with the way this turned out because yeah, I don't really build a whole lot of garages, and when I do, I don't always like fully decorate them. So I don't know, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So hopefully you guys will like it too. And then I was going to put up blinds, but I decided not to. I felt like it would look better without it. And then I felt like she needed a few planters so she could do a little bit of gardening. And then here I'm going on into the interior, working on the floor plan. And one of the main things that I knew I wanted on the interior of this house was to have 2 bedrooms. That way, if you wanted to play in this house with a family, or you wanted Venessa to have like a roommate or something, then you could easily do that. But I did turn it into an office space, and I really like the way that turned out. They're both kind of small rooms, so they're a bit tiny. Also, the bathroom is smaller than I wanted it to be, but it has everything that you need besides a bathtub if you wanted to have a dog. But I decided that she isn't going to have a dog, but I think I'm going to give her a cat. I did put a few cat decorations in here, and I really like the idea of her having a cat. I'm just not exactly sure what kind I'm going to give her. I don't know, if you guys have any ideas, definitely let me know. But here I am starting off by decorating the living room area. So you'll be able to see here that I started off by placing these couches that came with Parenthood, and then this curtain that came with City Living, I believe. And I just really wanted to just bring in a lot of color right off the bat. So the walls are completely white, and then the floors are like brown, because I felt like that would make sense for like a rental house, because they probably wouldn't paint the walls any crazy colors. But Venessa has moved in all of her bright furniture, and I just really liked it. I don't decorate interiors that bright very often, but as I mentioned in my overview for the builds that you guys did for my build challenge, I mentioned how so many of you guys use color like crazy. Like, I was so impressed by all of the colorful furniture choices and things that I would never think of. So I really wanted to try some of those things out in the interior of this build, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out, because yeah, I just never really build with this much color, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out, especially for Venessa, because I feel like it suits her personality really nicely. But here I'm just picking out a bunch of different clutter decorations. I wanted to have like the remote on the coffee table. I also used this book that came with the latest patch, because I feel like if she is an aspiring actress, she's probably like taking notes a lot, or like writing down like gigs, or just maybe even writing down lines. I don't know if that's helpful. I've never done any acting besides like a small part that I played in a Romeo and Juliet skit in high school. But other than that, I've never done any acting. So maybe it helps to write things down. So I thought that was kind of a cute idea. I also ended up giving her a video game console in here. I also ended up giving her a bigger TV. I was trying to use this smaller one because I felt like maybe that would be more realistic, because I do imagine that she doesn't have a whole lot of money, even though this house is really decorated, and in The Sims, if you have a lot of decorations, then your house is really expensive. I'm not exactly sure how much this house ends up costing in the end, but either way, I did imagine that she is renting this house, doesn't have a lot of money, but she still somehow has a lot of decorations. I'm not exactly sure if that makes sense, but I really like it. Oh, I put this poster over here because I thought maybe that was like one of her favorite movies, and maybe that's why she got into acting. And plus, I felt like the colors worked really nicely in here. And then I have this butterfly painting, which I thought was really pretty above the couch. And then I also clutter up this bookshelf over here with a lot of decorations, and I really like the way that looks. And overall, this house ends up having a lot more clutter than I had originally planned, because Venessa is a neat sim, and usually when I decorate houses for neat sims, I try to keep them a little bit more like tidy and organized and don't add all of those extra clutter decorations. But I really just liked the way it looked so much, and I feel like it just gives the house a lot more personality, and it kind of makes you feel like it's a teenager's house a little bit, which I really wanted it to, because Venessa is a really young adult and she has just moved here to the city from a very small town, so I feel like she would have a lot of like trinkets and things that kind of remind her of home. And I don't know, I feel like just having this more decorated look really suited the kind of personality and story and stuff that I wanted her to have. So I really like that. But here I am decorating the entryway to the house. So I just put a plant in the corner. I have this side table over here. I think I just give her a coat rack, then the umbrella rack, and then also the side table I put a bunch of decorations on, and then I put like a mirror above it. Oh, and then also this rug. I always forget that this swatch exists, and I hardly ever use this rug, but this one came with City Living. Originally, it's a little bit smaller, so I did size it up, I think, just by 1. And the thumbnail, I think, is the cherry blossoms, but it has so many different swatches. There's this one, there's some like plain ones, I forget exactly what all's in there, but yeah, I never use this rug, so I definitely need to use it more often, but I thought this tealy color was really pretty in the entryway. And here I was trying to create my own coat rack thing, merging this shelf in and trying to make it look like the picture was like sitting on top of it. I don't know, it looks okay. I might try it again in a different build, but I don't end up leaving it in here. I just end up putting another bookshelf in this corner because I was not sure exactly what I should put here, and I didn't want to put like another plant, and I didn't want to leave it empty. What I really wanted to do was put a corner shelf, but unfortunately we don't really have any corner shelves that I think would work in this style of home. We do have this one that came with cats and dogs. I love that shelf, but it didn't really work for the style of interior that I was going for. I feel like the frame of it was okay, but the sailboats and stuff didn't quite suit the idea that I had for Venessa. So I decided just to put this bookshelf instead, but I'm really hoping that we get another sort of corner shelf eventually because I feel a little bit limited. I do use the one from Cats and Dogs a lot, and I feel like it fits in most sort of like family homes or suburban-y type homes, but when it comes to doing more like modern interiors or mid-century sort of interiors, it doesn't really work. So hopefully we will get another style eventually. I would really like that. And then over here is going to be the kitchen and dining area, and this dining table, like with the curtain and those yellow cushions on the chairs, I just absolutely love the way this dining table turns out. I feel like it is really cute. And then I put that sloth painting over there on the wall. I just felt like that area just turned out so nicely, and like the colors, I was really happy about that. But over here is going to be the kitchen area. So these are those countertops that I was talking about earlier. I really like these ones. I feel like they are so simple, but the color swatches are not the best. The front of the cabinets I think look okay. I don't really mind the colors, but the tops of the counters kind of look like some sort of like sawdust texture or like particle board. They look a little bit strange, so I would definitely like to see the tops of them updated. I think that would be really nice, but if not, just more colors in general would be really useful because the ones that we have, I feel like this light blue gray color is pretty easy to use. The brown one isn't too hard, but like the pink, if I remember correctly, it's pink on the front of the cabinets and then the tops are brown, which I feel like is really hard to use. Like, I can't even think of any house that I've ever used them in. Maybe I will try to use them eventually. Not exactly sure if I will be able to make that happen, but I would definitely really like to see more color swatches. I don't know, we will see. But anyway, so here I am just cluttering up the countertops. I put this shelf above the stove with some decorations, and I did just remember that I do end up changing the wallpaper to the one from Parenthood. I was really trying not to use the tile behind the cabinets from Parenthood, and I do end up using the one that has kind of like this purpley tones because it just really brought in so much color into this kitchen because it was looking kind of bland with these kind of gray blue counters. And so you'll see me try a few different ones, but these are the ones that I end up going with. And it kind of looked a little bit strange right up next to the white walls because there was this like sharp contrast with the tile and then the wainscoting on the bottom. I really wish we would have had a version that didn't have the wainscoting on the bottom because I feel like it'd be a little bit easier to use next to plain wallpaper. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I always feel like there needs to be like a pillar or something to kind of break up the sharp difference. So I do end up switching the whole house to have the wainscoting on the bottom, and I feel like it does look a little bit better, and it still kind of suits the whole rental theme that I was going for with the white walls. So I feel like that looks okay. But here on this back door area, I have kind of a mud room with the washer and dryer, and then I also have the litter box. And I used this litter box that came with my first pet stuff because I thought it was so fun. And then that picture that I put above the litter box is actually a custom photograph that I had one of my Sims take of one of those pictures that came with cats and dogs, and I thought that was kind of cute to put above the litter box because it had a kitty on it. And I think I may have shared that one to the gallery already. If not, I will be sharing it pretty soon because I had so many rooms to share of those custom photographs. So I think I have just a few more to share with you guys. And yeah, I definitely want to do more of those in the future because I think it's such a nice way to add like artwork and stuff to the game. But anyway, so here I am just picking out some debug decorations. I put that debug stack of laundry on top of the washer and dryer because that was something that I saw from some of you guys that I thought was a really nice way to add just more like laundry decorations, because we do have some folded shirts, but it's nice to have like a few other options. And then here next to the stove, this was something that I really wanted to add in this build because I thought it was so cute when I saw it from Blossom Bombs when I did my showcase. But I put this notepad right here with the pin next to it and a flower. I just thought that was like one of the cutest things I've ever seen. So I definitely imagined that this was like Venessa's shopping list or something for some groceries, or she just jotted down an idea for, I don't know, maybe a gig that she's going to be performing in. So I thought that was just so cute. But here I am just finishing up the laundry room area. I put up the ironing board and then I organized the decorations on those shelves above the washer and dryer. And then here I am just changing all of the wallpaper. Yeah, I did like the white, but I feel like this might look a little bit better. But it's an easy fix if you do prefer all the white walls. But here I am working on the bathroom. So there's the stand-up shower, there's the toilet, and then of course just some random bathroom decorations. I also end up going into the debug menu to pull out some like makeup clutter because I thought that would be so cute in her bathroom. So I have this palette with these different like blushes or eyeshadows. There's a nail file, the eyeliner, and there's a few more other things that I probably could have added, but I didn't want it to be like too crazy, like messy, just enough to kind of have some of her makeup and things laying around because I feel like that's kind of realistic. So I really like the way that looks. And then here I'm just picking out a curtain, and then that's it for the bathroom. And then over here is going to be her bedroom. And in here I was able to fit a double bed, 2 side tables, a dresser, and a mirror. I wasn't able to fit any like skill building activities. Everything like that is in her office space, which isn't that big of a deal to me, but her bedroom still is a little bit smaller than I wanted it to be. But I think if you wanted to expand the house, maybe like a tile or so on this side of the house, you could probably make it work, and I don't think the house would look too awkward from the exterior. So I think that's a possibility. And then here I am kind of struggling with picking out a rug. I do end up going with this plain kind of purple one. I think that one came with Seasons. And then I also kind of struggled with picking out a bed, but I felt like this one that came with Seasons was so pretty with the purple and the white. I felt like it matched the curtains really nicely. There is actually a matching bed set that came with these curtains from City Living, but I felt like that would be a little bit too matchy, and plus the style of the bed wasn't exactly what I wanted to go for Venessa and stuff. So I went with this one, and I really do like it. And then I used these tables as side tables next to the bed, and I really like these ones because they have like book clutter, and I think there's like this plastic pencil box on them too, so I thought that was really pretty. And then I put a few decorations on the end tables, and then over here I have a dresser. I use this mirror. I love this mirror so much, and I felt like it kind of suited Venessa wanting to become an actress really nicely because it has these bulb lights around it, and it really reminds me of like a movie star's dressing room. So I feel like Venessa would have bought it because of that reason. So I really liked it in here, and I also have that cart with some makeup on top of it. We also have this other wall decoration that has the same lights, and you will see me pull it out here in just a second. This one right here, I did really like this one. It looks even more like it belongs inside of a movie star's dressing room, but I felt like having both of them was like a little bit overkill, so I decided just to leave the stand-up lamp, but I definitely want to use that wall decoration eventually because I think I may have used it once or twice at some point, but I really want to use it again, so I need to find the right build to use it in because that item is really cool. But here I am just placing some decorations around the room. I cluttered up the top of her dresser with a fishbowl. She also has some flowers, and then that geode I thought was pretty cute. And then over here I kind of struggled with placing some artwork. I think I end up moving the calendar and the bulletin board over here. I do end up looking through some of the pictures that I took, the same as the one above the litter box, and I placed a couple of them over here, and I think they look okay, but I decided not to. But yeah, I moved the bulletin board over here, and I used this hanging wall rack of some clothes because I felt like, I don't know, that added some nice decoration. And then here I was just not exactly sure what I should add, so I go into these rooms, I pick out a couple of pictures that I thought would look okay in here, and I do like them. but I don't know, it just didn't quite look right to me, so I do end up getting rid of them and just keeping it a little bit more simpler, and then just hanging up a picture over here. I thought that one was so fun. I never used that picture. I used it a lot in this build in like so many different swatches, but I really liked it. But over here is going to be her office, and in here, of course, I wanted her to have a computer desk, and I used that new desk that came with the latest patch. I thought it looked so nice in here. I also ended up giving her a pink laptop, which I thought was really fun. And then along this wall, she has a seating area, and I really liked this side table in the yellow color. I hardly ever use it in that swatch, but I really liked the way it looked. She also has a guitar and a microphone, and I gave her the microphone so she can practice her acting skill, and I know they don't need that. I know they can do it in front of the mirror, but I thought that would be kind of nice for her to have. And then over here, I do decorate her desk with a bunch of different decorations, probably way too many clutter items, but I really liked the way it looked. It looked so lived in and decorated. And then I also ended up switching out these curtains for the plain white ones that came with seasons. I did really like these curtains in most of the build, but I felt like it was getting a little bit too repetitive, so I did decide to switch them up in this room. And then yeah, that's basically it for this room. I just hang up a mirror over here along this wall, and I really do like it. I think it's a very nice office space. And then that's it for the interior. And then here on the front porch, she has a couple of plant decorations, and then I do this seating area, and I absolutely love the way this spot turns out. I use these couches that came with seasons, and I really like these ones. I really wish they would have came in like a 3-tile wide, like a full couch version. But either way, I really liked using them here with this coffee table. I put a few flowers around, and then the lemonade pitcher, and I just think it's such a nice spot for your Sims to hang out. And then on the back porch, I do another seating area, but this time it's an outdoor dining table with a few more potted plants. I put a barbecue back here, and yeah, I think this spot turns out really nice too. But that is basically it for the build. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and hopefully you guys do enjoy the screenshots. So thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!
Time has been so hard on us, my friend.